Welcome back, our football fanatics, to another episode of NFL Twincast, NFL Twin Take. Sorry for the delay. I know we haven't been putting them out episodes as much as we have been recently.
What was that in English?
Well, I'm just saying.
We haven't been putting them out
It's
episodes and
kind of due to me training the Chicago Bears, but we've been pretty busy with work.
So that's why
lately.
you guys get injuries?
We were pretty healthy last
You've been
year.
training Philadelphia Eagles, huh?
Yeah, okay. Anyways, so today's episode, what we're talking about, there is a reason, Corey, I have this 85 Bears Super Bowl ring.
Because it's all you have to hang
Why I
on to.
have the Mike Ditka,
It's his only claim to fame.
why I have the Ditka Duck Coach vest on and a Swaggy Nagy visor. It's because we were talking about Coach of the Year. And Swaggy Nagy, if I'm not correct, was one Coach of the Year his first year as
So is
Bears coach.
Sean Payton. First year as the Saints coach.
And also
And
Duck Coach, Mike Ditka, the Bears,
Sean Payton
best
won a
coach
Super
of all
Bowl.
time. So
Wait, time out. I remember Mike Ditka as giving away every draft pick for Ricky Williams.
Yeah, when he went to the Saints, they're already a dumpster fire.
Dude,
and I mean,
he had one good season.
he lit the whole city on fire. He went from a dumpster fire to the whole city.
Well, once we got rid of him, we were fine.
Were you? Aaron Brooks
Yeah.
and Jeff Blake.
We won a playoff game.
We won a playoff game. Now you sound like a Scrubs fan.
I sound like you.
Yeah, Chicago
You guys are
Scrubs.
bragging about losing your first playoff
By the
game.
way, quick side note: White Sox going to show Chicago Scrubs who the real Chicago team is tonight in the intro squad game. But anyway, so we are talking about Coach of the Year, so that's why I'm dressed like Swaggy Nagy and Coach. But Corey, before we go over the top 5 Coach of the Year odds in our eyes for this year, should we get the big elf in the room for this week? What's going on football-wise?
Cowboys definitely fumbled the Dak Prescott contract situation. I know half of the NFL fans completely agree with Dallas, and they're like, I want to sign him long term. He's not worth the money. Okay, look at his record. I'm sorry, but is it your job to win the game, wins and losses?
Look where he was drafted. Honestly, you could
4th round pick.
Well, you could argue because he's better than Cousins for sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you could argue that Dallas, honestly, for the work for what he's produced for them, they owe him.
It's been a steal.
I know it's his rookie contract, but if you just throw away that it was his rookie contract, you could argue he's owed like $80 million by him for how he's produced. He's a top 10 quarterback, no doubt. He wins games. He doesn't turn over.
He's not flashy.
He's a good leader.
He's not flashy or a fantasy player. Who cares? Your job's not to get fantasy points. It's to win.
He's a leader. Games. The players love him. You won't hear anybody say a bad thing about him in Dallas. I like him, and I hate Dallas. Honestly, just something to throw out there. If he was a Bears quarterback, we already would have won a Super Bowl with him.
When Drew Brees retires, I would love to have him in the black and gold. Saints fans might get mad about that, but dude, Dak Prescott's a great starting quarterback.
I know there's salary cap restrictions, but Jerry Jones has money, and dude.
Who paid the receiver?
Yeah, and then the D line, O line, or linebackers. I'm sorry, linebackers. If you're on linebackers and an offensive lineman, pay your quarterback first. Are you kidding me?
When Tony Romo was injured, Dak's rookie year, he came in and saved that franchise.
Yeah,
they had no business even winning the division.
It's honestly a slap in the face, and they're gonna regret it because they're gonna pay for it in the long run. Because I think they're good. Because if they don't pay him, the next year he makes like 38 mil off the franchise tag, or he walks away.
Either way. They lost this battle because if they do want to keep him, if he has 2 good years off the franchise tag, you're going to pay him record-breaking anyways. And then if he does have 2 good years and he's like, hey, screw you guys, you screwed me over, he's leaving. And good luck.
Now they're going to have to pay him more than they already wanted to or needed to because they didn't pay him.
I just love the Dak haters argument. Well, he doesn't win them games. He doesn't do anything special. Dude, he does win games, and he's better than half the NFL quarterbacks that are starters.
He's top 10 quarterback. You could argue all around. I mean, maybe I'd say top 8, not top 5. Close. Yeah. He's close, and this is the most stacked I've ever seen quarterback.
Look at his numbers last year. If you do want to do stats, I know they didn't play the best defenses, but dude, he still had a heck of a season. I don't know. It's beyond me because Kyle knows as a Bears fan, you don't just find quarterbacks. They don't just grow on trees. Like if you have someone like Dak Prescott, keep the guy.
Yeah, we were just in Santa Claus, Indiana this weekend, Holiday World, where Jay Cutler, he robbed Chicago, took my heart. Thievery, should be arrested. By the way, that's where he
So has 800 other quarterbacks in your history. Your greatest quarterback was
Jim
better.
McMahon, baby.
He had a better attitude than he did talent.
Okay, well you talk now. Trubisky's gonna come back this year strong.
All I gotta say is this Dak talk's gonna continue next offseason, and the offseason after that he'll be like Kirk Cousins and Brady.
Come to Chicago. Dak Prescott, Derek Carr. You both fit in. I love Jimmy G. Or we'll draft Justin Fields. All right, this isn't a Chicago podcast though, so. All right, let's go back to.
If it were, we'd have no listeners.
If it were, we'd have a 4-hour show. But
okay, Coach of the Year.
Okay, so Coach of the Year.
So we're done talking about the Bears. Obviously, we're on Coach of the Year.
Yeah, because we already won the award 2 years ago. We need to start giving to other people.
Okay.
So, number one, Bill Belichick.
Who?
Bill Belichick. Why? 6-time Super Bowl champion, 3-time Coach of the Year. What is he, like second best or best winning percentage all time?
Let me start with this too. He has a good chance of winning this because he got rid of Brady.
Mhm.
So if he's successful this year with that brutal schedule they actually have without Tom Brady, and they do not have a lot of good weapons on that team. Oh, especially offense. If they win a lot of games, he's already set himself up for that.
Yeah, that's the thing because we've been saying this for years. Is this the year the dynasty's over? Is this the year the dynasty's over? Well, for once, the odds are stacked up against them because Buffalo's a new up and come. They're a young roster. They're up and coming. A great coach. Josh Allen's getting better. I mean, they have a stacked defense and they're adding weapons on offense. Everyone thinks the Bills, even though they're allergic to winning the division, everyone thinks the Bills are taking over. And they think that the Patriots are on their way out because the most successful quarterback of all time just left them. And like you said, I mean, their best weapons are 34-year-old, heartbroken, injury-ridden Julian Edelman. They got N'Keal Harry, who was great in college, but he was hurt last year. They just shuffle running backs, even though they do have Sonny Michel's good, but not as good as last year. He didn't have
Mohamed Sanu was it that? I mean, I know he's.
No, yeah, they just don't have much.
Two rookie tight ends.
They lost 2 of their good linebackers on defense.
I don't even know who they were drafting. Bill Belichick was drafting from different high schools.
Oh, dude, yeah. Wasn't it like his first draft pick? I didn't even know where the hell he was from.
He sees something we don't.
I don't count the guy out. Like, he literally is a mad scientist, and he thrives in these situations. I think he's laughing right now that everyone's counting him out. And because he's ultra competitive, like all the greats, he wants to prove it's not, he could do it, like it was more him than Brady. He wants to prove that. And guess what? He got Cam frickin' Newton, a former league MVP, who definitely wants to prove all the haters wrong because there was only 2 teams in the NFL looking at Cam Newton. He claims he's healthy. He's more motivated than ever. He's a former MVP, former Heisman Trophy winner.
I watched Cam Newton play the Saints twice a year, and most Saints fans won't admit this, but watching him was exciting. We had a fun rivalry against him and Cam Jordan. Cam Newton, I mean, that guy, when he's healthy, find me another player with his talents. I know Lamar Jackson. I know he's faster, can run more than Cam Newton rushing yard wise and everything, but Cam Newton's a bigger physical freak.
If Cam Newton's healthy, that's like LeBron James coming in the lane.
He's bigger, stronger, and I think he's
or Derrick Henry running
he's as dangerous. He's as dangerous as Lamar Jackson.
Dude, it's literally
he's taking a beating.
He's bigger than the linebackers and tight ends, and he's just solid muscle, and he's athletic as could be. I don't want that guy running.
Yeah, he doesn't throw to pretty's football, but he completes it. I really don't care. Mike Vick didn't either. People are nitpicking at that point.
The thing is, you got Belichick, you got the best coach of all time, with one of the most dual threat talented QBs we've ever seen in the NFL.
A Heisman winner.
If he's healthy, too.
An NFL MVP. I mean, he's done it all.
And then, last thing with Belichick, dude, I mean, this just speaks volumes. I don't care what division, because even though it's kind of funny how it's the East and both conferences that are the weak ones, but, dude, in the AFC East, he's going for his 12th division title in a row. 12 years in a row.
Well, and this isn't the pick on Kyle, but the Bears won their division, and Kyle bought everything he could.
I thought we were in Super Bowl.
Can you imagine being a Patriots fan? They would laugh at him.
12 in a row, 12 years. We won a decade, and I go nuts.
Kyle and all my friends were just bragging all season. Division champs, and like the Patriots would be like, okay, congrats.
Oh, that's the thing. And who built that? Belichick.
It's a different standard.
Yeah, so I mean,
they're always in it with him. That's all.
The guy, dude, he plays chess when everyone else plays checkers. So that's number one, Belichick, and I'm excited. I don't hate the Patriots. I'm gonna be sad when their dynasty is over, like the Spurs and NBA.
Oh, we'll never see it again.
Yeah, we're never gonna see a team as
dominant. Like there's a reason there's a salary cap.
Yeah, and so I'm excited for them. When people are like, "Oh, could the Chiefs be the next dynasty?" No. I mean, you could name. Dude, how many times has a team done that just because a quarterback comes in and wins 1 year? People say with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
Thank you. I was going to say,
they're going to be a dynasty. They've won 1 Super Bowl.
Pull up the footage years ago when Aaron Rodgers was playing like Mahomes was, and everyone's like, there's no way he won 1 for blah, blah, blah. Well, he hasn't. It's fine. So, Mahomes, I give Mahomes 1 more.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't see it. Kansas City fans probably just turned us off. They're going to be pissed. But, dude, it never happens that way.
That's why people need to realize the greatness we've witnessed, and it's not over yet. I want to see Belichick and Newton do well.
I mean, you got to look. Okay, Drew Brees only has 1. Peyton Manning didn't get a second till like he was hobbling and the defense carried him. You got Rodgers with 1.
It's a team sport, man.
It's exactly. I hate when people say it's the coach or quarterback.
Quarterback system.
It's everything has to fall in line. Oh, he's a system quarterback.
There's a 53-man roster. Yeah. So, all right, next, I got Bruce Arians.
That's a good transition because, okay, we're going Belichick. Now, let's go to the team that has Brady.
Yep.
The Buccaneers.
So Bruce Arians, he's already a 2-time coach of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. So they call him the quarterback whisperer.
Palmer,
Dude,
Roethlisberger.
yeah, when it comes to like quarterback coach, I think he had Andrew Luck, Carson Palmer, Peyton Manning, Big Ben. Am I missing somebody?
No, that's Palmer, I mean, probably, but that's
I mean, come on, look at those quarterbacks that he was either offense coordinator, assistant coach, head coach, whatever for, and he was the one who helped them.
Okay, well,
they've all had like their best year statistically when he coached them.
You take away the turnovers. Winston had a heck of a year with him. You're slinging it in that system. It was like a Brett Favre, like, hey, we'll take the turnovers because what is it? You got to risk it for the biscuit. Is that his saying?
No risk it, no biscuit.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's like, just sling the ball. Chances are you're gonna get more touchdowns than that. Turn it over every once in a while, but
two things I think that would help too for coach of the year. So look at it this way. I think since Super Bowl era, the Bucs have the worst winning percentage.
They're pretty bad.
When you have a bad franchise like that, if he comes in and makes them one of the top teams, because it's a regular season
award. He gets
award.
like 10 wins, he's going to get the
It's a regular season award. So you look at the history, is horrible for this franchise. So if he can come in.
We're talking about the Bears or the Bucs?
Dude, no. Just be quiet.
Okay, sorry.
The Bears did fumble because we should have had Arians as coach, but we took frickin' Mark Trestman. I mean, Arians was in our grip, our grasp.
Trestman did good, man.
Yeah, he brought 2 hot doggers to Chicago. That's all he did. But anyways, so with that, you already have the bad franchise. You bring in playoffs. Dude, roster, like, offense. Top 3 stacked offense in the entire NFL. You brought the most successful quarterback in NFL history, so all the spotlight's going to be on him. They have all the primetime games.
Oh, yeah, that's all the time.
Bruce Arians is a proven successful. I love him. Great head coach. The players love him. I don't see how
I have 2 scenarios.
Okay.
The coach of the year between these 2 teams, the first 2 coaches we named, is going to be who finishes better, Patriots or Bucks. Number 2, I have a counter argument. He's not winning it because the Saints are winning the division.
Okay,
but I wholeheartedly believe
that could go in his favor even if he got wild card because he's going to be in a tough division.
Yeah,
the NFC South had the most interesting offseason.
Oh, dude, the division stacked.
So if they could just finish second in division, and what if they still finish with like 10, 11 wins? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a turnaround for them, and I mean. So Bruce Arians, he's a solid coach too. You know, he did great with Palmer and the Cardinals when he was a coach. So that's number 2.
Kyle, your favorite guy next, man.
My favorite, no.
Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Kyle, he went from your most hated team to what, your second most hated team?
Yeah, he went from I mean, dude, come on, McCarthy. Your jobs, I don't care how much you're getting paid. Your jobs suck. You went from being
I don't know. That a lot of people would
I'd rather just do it. No.
It's 2 historic franchises that have very good fan bases.
I'd say no.
I think he has a pretty
good. You went and coached a team where you put cheese on your head and think that's cool, like a cheese grater. You look like a bunch of idiots. Number 2.
Okay, well.
I'm just being honest. Sorry, Packers, not really. Packers Nation, but come on, dude. And then you got to coach Aaron Rodgers. Sorry for your breakup with Danica Patrick. Danica, you're not.
What is this?
She's not allowed back in Chicago. She's a traitor. Packers suck. Aaron Rodgers, you suck.
What does this have to do with what we're talking about?
Oh, so McCarthy, the next coach.
Okay, let me do this because you're going to be biased.
Yeah.
When Mike McCarthy was in Green Bay, Kyle's going to get all pissy, but they dominated the division. I mean, it was every single year you knew Green Bay was winning the NFC North. You should have. Number 2, how many postseason games did he appear in? Like 18 or something, right? Yeah. That's a ridiculous amount. That's more than Kyle's witness in his life as a Bears fan.
18? What did he do? He had one postseason when the Bears let them in. And Jay Cutler was riding his little...
Who did he beat in the NFC Championship?
Jay Cutler was riding his training wheels on the sideline.
Who did he beat in the NFC Championship?
Dude, because Jay Cutler was riding his training wheels.
I didn't ask why. Who did he beat?
We had a third-string quarterback.
Who did he beat?
Caleb Haney almost beat him. Okay. He almost outdueled Aaron Rodgers.
Almost. Hey,
Caleb Haney.
I almost made the NFL.
No,
who cares?
Dude, you couldn't even hold their jock strap.
Okay, well, I wouldn't want to.
No, you couldn't. But also, Drew Brees would probably snip it.
Euro. Okay, he won the Super Bowl, so say all the jokes you want, but Kyle, you would kill for any coach to win a Super Bowl, as we saw. The coach that you're representing.
Coach.
You never witnessed.
You
never witnessed.
Bears.
You never witnessed a
coach. Because I have an 85 Super Bowl ring on my finger as we speak.
You weren't.
This is an 85 Super Bowl ring. I was there.
Dude, back to topic.
I was there.
Back to topic. Okay, McCarthy. Say what you want about him. I know a lot of fans don't like him because of him and Rodgers. They said he held Rodgers back. All this blah blah blah. Made the postseason consistently. Won a Super Bowl in Green Bay. Winning coach every season. That's what matters. Kind of like what we talked about Prescott. I'm not a Cowboys fan by any means, only because they get televised and talked about all the time. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you're a Dallas fan, you got to be pretty excited about him. He wins.
Well,
They have a bunch of talent on
And
that
what's
roster.
going in his favor? They're in the weakest division in NFL
Oh, yeah.
history.
And they're not prime
One of
time
the most
team.
talented rosters. Dak Prescott, dude, look who this guy's been able to work with. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Dak Prescott's like the least talented quarterback this guy's been able to coach. Lucky you. And then, like we said,
Didn't they get CeeDee Lamb?
Yep, they got
Yeah,
CeeDee Lamb to an already stacked roster. So the thing is, you got a stacked roster, a weak division, solid quarterback, and you're on every game televised. Whether you win or lose, it's America's team.
You're talked about every week.
Yeah.
I mean, all you have to do is turn on.
He's already in the spotlight.
Yeah.
I mean, look at dude.
Listen to Skip Bayless for a week.
Half the guys announcing the games are from Dallas. Literally,
yeah.
if
Romo, Aikman.
Yeah, if you're Dallas Cowgirls towel boy, then you can become an analyst next.
And if you know Sean McVay. I think it's just like these other two teams we talked about. He's in a new situation.
It's going to be a headline.
It gives you a better chance. I mean, I know Belichick's not in a new situation, but new coach, same thing with Arians. I mean, new quarterback, sorry, for both. But it's like, okay, you're in a new situation. You're on America's team. I hate saying that, but they are. They're always talked about. They're in a week to everything you just said. It all lines up.
They have the fan base. They're going to be on the primetime slot.
You get 10 wins, win the division, make the playoffs. They're going to want to give them that.
Yeah, the division, the schedule, the talent with Zeke. Like you said, they brought in Lamb. They got Prescott. They got Cooper. Dude, they have a stacked defense. I don't know why they struggled last year.
Well, they were horrible.
They changed around a lot of the coaching staff. Actually, a lot of them they changed around. So I don't see how they. I mean, they should do well. Like they underperformed last year, and they did a lot.
They got Kellen Moore play calling now.
Yeah, so perfectly set up for him. So next one, Corey, Mike Tomlin.
Okay, say what you want. They had no business winning as many games as they did last year. I mean, they had high school quarterbacks, in my opinion, throwing that ball. They had tremendous injuries.
No running back. Tough division.
Just losing Bell and Brown.
Would have made the playoffs last year with the new seed too this year. New seed.
Literally, Tomlin doesn't get enough credit for what he did last year.
So the thing with Mike Tomlin,
he's done nothing but win his career
he's
too.
Think how good you have to be to stay, because Pittsburgh's one of the top 3 or top 5 like
franchises.
Yeah, like fan bases, franchises, like worldwide. People love Pittsburgh, and so you get heat every day, man. Think about it. How many times Pittsburgh? I'm sorry, they have great fans, but there's so many fans. I mean, every fan base has that 10% of fans they're embarrassed by. Well, the 10% of the Pittsburgh fans will complain when he wins 9 games. He's had one season, I think. He's been there since 07. I think he's had 1 year where he didn't at least win as much, like at least go 500. Like where he had a losing record, I think 1 year out of since 07. And he's the youngest coach of all time to win a Super Bowl. Youngest coach to ever win a Super Bowl.
Look at it this way. He masked how crazy Antonio Brown is. No one knew Antonio Brown was what he is because Tomlin knew how to handle him. Whether he gave him extra, leeway and whatnot and stuff in practice that we might be finding out. Dude, he dealt with them fine because he was producing on the field for a long time.
Well, and he's got a healthy Big Ben. I think Big Ben's the top. I mean, he's the first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't know about this. I can't say top 5 anymore at this point in his career. He's top 10 quarterback.
He has a lot to prove because he is not being talked about. He gets injured 1 year and everyone forgets that he plays football.
He's top 10 quarterback, and he's the first ballot Hall of Famer. So he's got his quarterback back. He's also got James Conner back, so he's got the healthy running back. They have a top.
Juju has to have a better year this year.
They have a top 10 defense, and dude, Watt arguably could have won the defense player of the year last year. T.J. Watt, he was a beast. He had double-digit sacks, 4 state fumbles. You got Bud Dupree coming off of one of his best years. So, and then they had Fitzpatrick coming. I mean, dude, the Steelers, and they have such a tough division. So you have that storied history. You have that huge fan base. You're in such a tough division. You got your Hall of Fame quarterback back. You got your running back back. You got your number 1 receiver who has to prove something. You got the young and hungry defense like the old Steel Curtain. So if you do well this year and they added an extra playoff spot, then you're right in conversation for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, what he has going against him is actually the same thing that happened last year to Sean Payton. Sean Payton went 5-0 without Drew Brees. Half the games Kamara was out, Jared Cook, and that was our brutal part of our schedule. Mm-hmm. It was a gauntlet for Saints fans. And to do that without a Hall of Fame quarterback like he did, he should have deserved recognition for Coach of the Year, but the problem is he's been so consistently good that they're not going to give it to him. And that's the same thing with Mike Tomlin. If you look at Sean Payton and Mike Tomlin, they've been, B and C behind Belichick for best coaches of the last 10 to 15 years. So they're not going to – he has to do something extraordinary to get that award. It's the way it is.
I'd rather have that happen. The expectation's already there.
Exactly.
Pittsburgh has a great season, and Tomlin's used to winning. It's not like, oh, Pittsburgh had a great season
Yeah.
this year. We expect that.
Yeah.
It's not like the Browns or the Bucks
and I just want to say, I mean,
or the Lions.
Obviously, you can tell just by the background if you've listened to us. I am a dire Saints fan, but that's why I didn't put Sean Payton on here. He has to
The reason I didn't put Nagy is he already won the coach of the year 2 years ago.
It's hard
2 years ago.
It's hard to repeat this award. I mean, I know we just said Belichick's and Arians have, but they have things going for them. New quarterbacks, new system,
and
kind
people
of thing.
are sleeping on them.
Yes, like the chances.
Not in the Bucks, but on
the Saints are top 3 in Vegas right now, so the chances of Sean Payton winning, they're just gonna say he should have done this anyways.
Well, and so next one.
Dude,
I substituted. So Corey had McCarthy because the situation in Dallas. I know this is the 4th one or 5th we're talking about. Fifth, but I have another one after this because you had McCarthy. I have Sean McDermott. I love him.
Bills Mafia?
Yeah, Bills Mafia stand up, dude. I love the Bills. Sean McDermott has literally brought in such an awesome hard-nosed. We're gonna play hard-nosed.
It's similar to what you watch growing up.
Yeah. It's like Bears culture, like old school football
or LSU football.
Yeah, he's brought it. Dude, and they all bought in. Even the fans, look at them jumping through tables, like they'll sit out in the freezing cold and cheer on that. And Josh Allen's just that quarterback where he's not going to be accurate, but he'll run and stay in bounds. Jim McMahon style quarterback.
Style.
Yeah. So, and that defense, man, they're young and hungry. I mean, dude, they love McDermott because he built that culture for the Bills. And the thing is, so we're talking about expectation-wise, okay, what could he do this year? Dethrone the dynasty. Finally end that 12-year or 11-year streak of the Patriots winning the division. He could end that. He's brought the Bills. Come on, they haven't done it since the '90s, early '90s when they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. He's brought them to back-to-back playoffs with Tyrod Taylor and Josh Allen as the starting quarterbacks. I mean, nowadays in the NFL, those are your starters, and he brought them to playoffs back-to-back years.
He has turned around that franchise. People are actually afraid to play Buffalo now.
Yeah.
They actually go into the season thinking they have a chance of winning the division.
They bought in, dude. They believe him.
They should have beat the Texans last year. I mean, I like the Texans, but they.
And they have he has a 25-23 record, which does not speak. That's why I'm not too big on stats because of how good of a coach he is.
Well, what he turned around.
What he inherited, yeah. So playoffs back-to-back times with those quarterbacks. Josh Allen, even if it's not accurate, like his accuracy-wise, he is getting better. I think he's just, dude, you just want to win. You just want to win.
You throw out the stats, he's a good quarterback.
And the players like him, he goes balls to the wall. Like, you just want to win. He's a tough guy. They got a great roster. They're hungry. They could dethrone the dynasty, like I said.
Well, it's funny. I don't mean to interrupt, but it's funny because we have Belichick and him on this list. Whoever wins that division is going to have a better chance.
Yeah. Well, and so we already said, dude, they have one of the top defenses. They brought in Stephon Diggs, and then didn't they draft a receiver also?
I have to check, but
they brought in Stephon Diggs, man. Like, come on, they got some speed in the slot in Buffalo. So
yeah, they did draft a receiver.
Yeah, so that's gonna help them. So last coach we'll go over before honorable mentions. Well, he'll be honorable mention quickly. Yep, Kevin Stefanski, the Browns. Why? First head coaching job. The Browns clearly underperformed last year. They have a horrible history.
And they're LSU North. So.
Well, they have a horrible history. But, dude, this is prove-it year for Baker Mayfield. Is he going to get a contract outside his rookie?
Hunt had a full offseason.
They have. I'm not going to name them. We've named them through several podcasts. All the talent on that roster.
Too?
Yeah. Dude, they have a top 5 talented roster. Just to show, David Njoku is demanding a trade because he's not going to get the ball enough. And I would love for him to be Bears starting tight end. But he's not going to get the ball enough. So they have a young, hungry, talented roster. They finally brought in somebody who should actually be a decent head coach. It's his first coaching job. He could turn around arguably the worst franchise I've ever grown up seeing, win-wise. And so if he takes the Browns to playoffs, they actually perform this year, how can he not?
Oh, they have to give it to him.
And, again, we go back to that tough division. The North.
Well, yeah, it's tough. You got to play Joe Burrow, bro.
Well, no, but listen, we named two guys we already named for Coach of the Year, so 3 of them are from the same division. So that shows how good this division could be. So Browns, easily. It could be Stefanski. Honorable mentions.
I'm saying Kingsbury.
Yep, go for it.
Oh, we gotta make it quick here. We're trying to end the episode, but
so
Kingsbury. I mean, come on. You got D-Hop. You got another year with Kyler Murray. I think they're gonna unleash him more, let him run more. Larry Fitz is one of the best receivers I've ever seen in my life.
Kyler Murray on the map.
They still have Patrick Peterson on defense and added Isaiah Simmons. I mean, they Chandler Jones. They got a team there. They got a squad.
Again, tough division, dude. You got Pete Carroll and the Seahawks who are consistently good.
They get wild card. They'll be fine.
You got the Niners who are in the Super Bowl.
Who else you want to name real quick?
I mean, the Rams. Okay. So Andy Reid for the Chiefs, but the reason he's honorable mention, he's not going to win it. He just won a Super Bowl. Yeah, he just won Super Bowl.
He'll be in it because he'll be one of the best coaches.
Yeah.
Sean Payton, you have to say.
Sean Payton, he was honorable mention, not going to win it. and even this is a regular season award, guys. Kyle Shanahan not going to win it. Why? He didn't win it last year. What more can he do in a regular season?
Yep.
I thought they had the best roster. I understand why Harbaugh got it last year.
Because
it was Niners and Ravens. But if you can't have a better regular season than he did last year. What, 16-0 are they going to go this year? So he's honorable mention. Last one I'm going to say is Frank Reich for the Colts.
He has a chance.
I think that's fair, because especially if Rivers comes in and the Colts say like they go like 12-4, 13-3, and what if they get like the number 1 seed in AFC? Then I could.
What about Bill O'Brien?
Oh, dude, this isn't about the top 5 coaches on the hot seat.
Okay.
So those are our ones. So Corey, we got Bill Belichick, Bruce Arians, Mike McCarthy,
Mike Tomlin,
Sean
McDermott,
Kevin Stefanski, Sean McDermott,
and let's throw in Kingsbury.
Yeah, so we said why, a lot of them, the reasons are they're already in a tough division, so that if they win, or vice versa, they're in a weak division, so they could have a good record, or new coaches, new systems, new players coming in. So again, it's a regular season award. If you did great last year, you already won the award for your team. Always has success. It is hard to win that.
Standard, you're not gonna get it.
So that's the one we went over this week, guys. So what do we got next, Corey?
So I actually wanted to switch roles a little bit. I think we should do what we saw on ESPN. I kind of want to go through the different lists of the top rated players at popular positions from the Madden game.
Okay.
Because that's been a popular topic all over sports, and I think me and Kyle will kind of go through the top 10 lists and break down our top 5.
So are we going with like top 5 players out of all?
So we'll do what they did. We'll go to wide receivers, and like Mike Thomas was rated number 1.
Oh, so we're going to go position by position?
We'll look at their top 10, but not all the positions. We'll do like receiver, running back, quarterback, and then best edge rusher maybe.
Yeah, okay. So
and what we'll do is do our rankings.
So should we start with quarterback first?
So next episode, we'll look at their top 5. Well, we'll actually look at their top 10, and we'll go through who we think are top 5.
That was disrespect, what they did to Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, maybe we could do that. We'll throw in who we think was rated too low. But, thanks for listening, guys, and that'll be our next episode.
Yep.
Go Saints, who dat?
Bear down, my bear leavers, bear down.